Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Double Trouble Audiocast. I'm James Phelps, here with my brother Oliver Phelps.
Hello.
And we'd just like to say, welcome to Double Trouble.
Or, as the kind guys who came to see us at the Steel City Comic Convention kindly said...
That was very good of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's how you do an intro.
It was. So, guys, today, very Merry Christmas to you. I hope everyone is feeling very festive. Today, Oliver and I are going to be talking about our trip recently to New York City and on to Pittsburgh for the Steel City Comic Con. This is actually going to be a two-part thing where on the same trip, while we were just away, I went to Pittsburgh where I met up with Oliver, who is just in New York, then Pittsburgh. We then were there for the weekend. We flew back to London for 6 hours, got on another plane and went to Bangkok. So we'll talk about Bangkok in our next episode. So,
where I don't think, I've got to be honest, I notice you're not really in the Christmas spirit at the moment. I'm here wearing my festive jumper, which is like Father Christmas as we call him in England, or Santa Claus everywhere else. Actually, have you noticed that most people here now call him Santa?
it hasn't really...
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday. Yeah.
The reason I'm not wearing one is because no one can see.
Well, you know, so you feel the spirit of the season.
Yes. Well, my dog's got his Christmas jumper on. He's currently chilling out at the moment. Since I've been up, I literally came back yesterday, and probably like many dog owners will know, once you've been away for a while, our canine friends don't let us out of their sights, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So, before we...
Jolly good.
Yes. So, why don't you tell us, Oliver? You went to New York before I did.
Yes, I did.
What did you get up to?
So on the way to New York, I went over there mainly because I haven't been there for about, getting on for 2 years, and more importantly, there's a few friends there who I haven't seen for quite a while, and because I thought, I'm heading that way, I'll stop off on the way there and catch up. So we went out for dinner. My one friend actually now has a lovely job working for the National Football League, the NFL, and knowing that I'm a big sports nut, she invited me to their offices, their HQ, headquarters on Park Avenue, and yeah, they gave me a nice tour of the inside of the goings on of one of the biggest sports in the world.
Yep.
And that was amazing. So they were showing me all the different things that were going on there. I actually held in my hand Super Bowl tickets for this year. I was told not to take a photo of them.
And did you also see the Super Bowl trophy?
The Super Bowl trophy, yes, one of them, yeah. The Vince Lombardi trophy, which you can see, there's a bit of a weird photo of me there trying to pose like I'm holding it, but it's actually behind a glass protective screen, I suppose, to keep people from picking it up and maybe potentially dropping it. But yeah, and in the background, on the photograph that you'll see, if you're watching it on YouTube, but if you're not, I'll have to describe it. If you listen to it on Lima, this is when I give on my descriptive voices. So in the background, we have an array of little boxes, all glistening with a white backlight. And on each one of the little pedestals is a ring. Because every time you win did you like my
it was like I was
voice
there.
Yes, exactly. And every ring, so once you win a Super Bowl, you get a ring. And each team gets to design their own one. So that was quite cool, seeing all those things there. But as I say, so we went around there, saw some cool sights, really.
Met some people as well there, did you?
Yeah, met some guys who, it turned out I was chatting to one guy for 10 minutes, and then after he left, my friend said, he won the Super Bowl?
Yep.
So, oh, right, of course he did.
They look after their own at the NFL?
Yeah, so it was, as I say, it was amazing, and especially, everything what's going on with them at the moment. Some could say a bit of controversy, others would say protecting interests or whatever. I've always been told you take people how you find them, and I was given nothing but a really warm and welcome time there. So thank you very much for those guys, and even better when I loosely asked, James and I are going to go to the game when we're in Pittsburgh. They said, so have you got tickets yet? And I said, well, I've been looking, but a lot of them are like these resale tickets. And they said, well, hang on. And they very kindly gave you and I some really good seats, didn't they? So
very good seats.
So very, very kind of the National Football League, and hopefully we'll be able to check them out when they're over on these shores again next year for the international series.
So would you say that the Steelers are your team now?
I mean, they're definitely up there. They're winning a lot more.
Being a flake.
I'm
going to call you a flake because Oliver and I, many years ago, about 9 years ago to the day, we saw the Chicago Bears play at Soldier Field
Da Bears.
in Chicago, Da Bears, and we got spoilt rotten. We went on the pitch field side, I guess it's called. We call it pitch side in the UK. And I remember it being so hard. Concrete would have been softer than the
It's frozen,
soil
isn't it?
at
It's
that
frozen
time.
solid.
But from then, that was I'm determined that if you choose one team, that is your team.
Yes.
So the Chicago Bears are my team. However, you were walking around in a Steelers hat.
Well, as I say, the guys at the NFL said, you need a hat if you're going to the game. And they gave me a Steelers hat. So that's very nice. And I mentioned that you support the Bears. So they gave you a Chicago's Bears hat. I'm not saying I don't like the Bears. You know, I'm a fair-weathered fan, you
But a
could
hat's
say.
a hat, yeah,
But a
that's
hat's a hat.
Fair enough. And then after that, you went on to do some check out a charity in
I
New
did,
York.
yeah. So my friend who I was staying with, Morgan, she works for a by day. It's like she's a personality of sorts. By day, she's a real estate agent, and other times of her time is taken up by working for a charity called Kid Care NYC, and they basically let kids be kids is their motto. And while I was in the city, the one evening they had their annual toy drive fundraiser, which is basically where, there's over 700. I'm just going to read off their website actually to get this wrong. So since 2009 that they've hosted their annual toy drive to benefit over 750 kids housed in shelters by homes for the homeless. Now, 8 years later, they've collected well over 12,000 toys and raised funds which have enabled Kid Care to sponsor and create many activities of which you can read about on this page. Now, the page website is www.kid-care.org. And the cool thing about it was that everyone was asked to take a toy along for these kids because, unfortunately, there's a lot of youngsters in this world who aren't in a very privileged position, and they're not going to know what it's like to receive a gift off Santa Claus. So we were able to help these guys out in a way by bringing a toy along for them. And also, many organisations sponsored different things as well for the raffle. So the raffle made a lot of money. I'll tell you what was an amazing prize in the raffle. A bed.
Right.
So it was like one of these super duper temper mattresses type thing. So there was a lot of stuff there loads of different companies had donated towards, and the charity raised a lot of money on the night, which is only going back into it. So I thoroughly recommend anyone in the New York area to check out kid-care.org and learn more about this really cool charity. It was a great night, and because it was an adults only evening, because it was a fundraiser, so conveniently as well, it was an open bar.
Well, that's always good though.
It's always good, isn't it, a charity event? So obviously, when the booze gets flowing, the wallets open a bit easier. And as I say, a lot of money was raised for this really good cause. So that was an amazing way of a last evening in my short spell in the city.
Great stuff.
Then from there, as I say, headed off to the airport and met you in Pittsburgh.
Yes, well, I actually flew into the States that day. I had some things I needed to take care of here in the UK, work-related, which was exciting to say the least. So I flew out on that Thursday. I had a 40-minute change in JFK. That was 40 minutes to get off the plane, run down through immigration, fly through immigration, run round to the next terminal, get on the plane, and take off, which is the quickest I've ever done in JFK. I've been waiting there for 3 hours plus before now. So thank you very much for all the guys at JFK for improving and getting everyone into your lovely country quicker.
Did you have a Fitbit on you? I've got to be honest. I've got to say, being impartial, there are other fitness tracking devices around.
There are. I did have a fitness tracking device on me, which was a Samsung actually, simply because I enjoy I'm not an Apple person right now.
Oh.
So, but yes, I did get my heart rate pumping quite a lot on that one. But I made the short flight over to Pittsburgh. I was sitting next to a very lovely lady whose husband serves in the military. So she was literally heading back for Christmas with her family. So that was very interesting to hear her story. And the flight went very quickly because of that. We landed, said our goodbyes. So I hope that she has a very Merry Christmas.
Did you get her name?
I didn't. Well, yeah, it's one of those where someone tells me and then I forget. But she was a very lovely lady. That's all I can All I
Oh,
can say.
that's good. That's good.
And
Did you notice the airport at Pittsburgh?
I know it had a lot of trees.
How well decorated it was.
Yes, they're very proud of their Christmas themes in Pittsburgh. That's what we learned.
Yeah, I can remember on the flight over, it was every house seemed to be lit up.
Yep. And people of Pittsburgh, actually, if you can tell us, is there like a unofficial law or maybe an official law in the city where you have to have Christmas lights outside? Because it did look very, very festive and got us in the holiday spirit while we were there.
Yeah.
So we travelled through the city and headed to our hotel for the weekend, which we were there. The reason we were there is we were for the Steel City Comic Con, which we've never been to before, but a couple of our fellow Harry Potter cast members have been there before. We heard that Bonnie Wright's been there, Matt Lewis has been there, Tom Felton has been there. So we were very, very surprised that everyone still wanted to meet us after meeting those guys.
It was cool.
I'm kidding, by the way. Everyone's very nice. But it was very cool. Everyone was very welcoming and very excited for us to be there. So thank you very, very much for anyone that came to say hey at the Steel City Comic Con.
It's funny how we were in our own room.
Yeah, it was...
When we were out the way. Originally we had company in there, but one by one they left. And it was just us in this quite a big room. Thankfully, so many cool guys came by to say hey, so we were never alone in there. But that was quite funny, actually.
Yeah, but thank you very much if you guys came and said hello and whatnot. We'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for making us feel very, very welcome there. It really did mean a lot, and we met some very, very interesting and nice people, so thank you very much. One person actually in particular that we met, which I was very excited about, we actually met Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, the former WCW, WWE superstar, who I'm quite a wrestling nerd. I don't mind saying that. I've been to a couple of WrestleManias. I really enjoy it. So to meet someone like that was very cool. But also because for the last 2.5 years, I've actually been taking part in DDP Yoga, which is his yoga.
Really?
Yeah, clues in the name.
Wow.
So it was really cool to actually meet the guy who's the reason that I can actually touch my toes now. My flexibility was rubbish, and it's still a challenge, but I do it every day when I'm traveling especially. So we haven't been paid. I need to make this clear. I haven't been paid to say any of this, but I genuinely do think it has helped me, not just in my physical, but my mental way of looking at things as well, just being positive. So to actually...
I found the impression I got from talking to him, I mean, I've seen interviews with him before, but sometimes you think, is that a facade or something? But just chatting to him in the green room, no one else about, what a nice guy.
Very nice. And he was
a very positive type of character as well, and he was asking what we were up to and things, and very, very kindly gave me some pointers of best ways to use the yoga as well. So I'm going to give that a go. And if I can touch my toes, because I learned a lot sooner that I can't, and also without giving too much away, when we were in Thailand, I learned my flexibility was not quite what it was for the other guys in the area we were at.
Yep. So if you are looking at maybe thinking in the new year you want to get yourself fit, or to just try some kind of exercise, but some people are scared of going down the gym. Some guys don't have the time to go down the gym. Some people don't have a gym nearby, but if you have access...
Some people don't know what to do at the gym.
Yep. So if you guys have a feeling that that's what you want to do in the new year to get in shape or just feel fitter yourself, I thoroughly would recommend the DDP Yoga to check it out. Also, there are obviously other yoga kind of things to check out, but from a personal message, I'd recommend that one.
And just to stress, you're not getting any financial backhand.
No, not at all. Honestly, this is just me saying that it's helped me, so I'd love for you guys to check it out as well. So after that, you probably guessed Oliver and I are quite big sports fans, so we were able to go and see the Pittsburgh Penguins play.
It was quite funny, wasn't it? Because I bought tickets about 2 weeks beforehand through their official site, and we thought, okay, that's great. And then we just mentioned it to one or two people who came to see us that, what are you doing? So, we're going to go see the Pittsburgh Penguins, to which we soon learned it's just called the Pens. So by the end of it, we're going to go see the Pens. And lo and behold, one guy said to us, well, I know someone there. Do you want me to see if they'd like to, upgrade your seats, as it were. So we said, yeah, you can do, but don't worry if not. We're happy where we are. But next thing we know, we get to the game. We're met by representatives from the club who put us on the big screen, the huge
Jumbotron.
the Jumbotron type thing that hangs above the ring.
And we're actually there with our good pal Daniel Logan, who was actually Boba Fett in Episode 2, Star Wars Episode 2, who's a very fun guy. If anyone meets Daniel, everyone gets off his energy very quickly. He's very livens up the room.
It was cool as well because they announced that we were there, and the club gave us these really cool shirts, actually, or jerseys.
But they were the proper jerseys.
They were like proper, player style jerseys.
So we're very thankful for the Pittsburgh Penguins for looking after us. And while we were there, we got to sit in the press room and the press office. So we're actually sitting next to some of the players who are out injured at the moment. So
it was hard to determine which one was which, and then they smiled, and then you noticed they're missing some
a few
teeth.
of them missing a few teeth.
Yeah.
But some of the guys that we were chatting to were very, very helpful for just explaining some more of the rules and how the play works. It's a very fast game.
There was no fights, was there?
No, which
Everyone always says look out for the fights, but I didn't see one.
I quite enjoy it actually because it doesn't have to be violent all the time.
No.
So from there, we were able to then said, "Hey guys, would you like to come and check out the locker room?" So yeah, that'd be interesting. Why not? So we got down. Then
It was really in the lower level as well, wasn't it?
yeah, it's pretty much underneath the arena. And as you get down there, it's actually designed. So without giving too much away, the roof of the locker room is designed on the famous old Pittsburgh Igloo, which is their old arena.
The Igloo, going back to wrestling, that's where Mankind was thrown off the Hell in a Cell, wasn't it?
Yep.
By The Undertaker.
Yep. Anyway, getting back to the hockey. So that's
Back on
just
subject.
little details like that made all the difference. And we actually went into the locker room, and you would not believe that a game had just happened because it was spotless.
Yeah, either these guys are very OCD or they've got a really, really good locker room staff.
Maybe, but there was one rule about the whole locker room. We could sit on the benches, we could have photos wherever, but there's one rule. And in the middle of the locker room is a huge white carpet with the logo of the Penguin playing hockey.
As they do.
And the rule is that you don't walk over it. That is the golden rule. And so that was what was done. So we had our photo taken next to it, which was all very nice. And Oliver actually did a little video, which you can listen to that now.
So, little bonus, little perk on the way out. Been invited into the Penguins' dressing room. I can't believe how tidy it is considering they've just finished playing, but yeah, this is awesome. Oh, and the golden rule. You cannot step on the logo.
And we have just finished watching the Pittsburgh Penguins. Unfortunately, they have lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-4. But a great evening was had by, unless you're a Penguins fan, but we had a really good time here. Everyone's really looked after us really, really well, though. Really looked after us. And so this comes to our second day here in the city. Again, everyone has been so welcoming and very, very happy to have us, which has always been great. So there you go. And then as we left...
Just like you were there, wasn't it?
Just like you were there. And then as we left there, we saw the 5 Stanley Cups that they have. They're quite big trophies as well, aren't they?
Well, I didn't realise that they put everybody on the team, coaching staff, medical staff, everyone on it. So no wonder the base of it's so big.
Mm.
And every year, as we say, so we did that, and then we saw a lot of cool stuff going down. A bit of snow came down in the city as well, which didn't stick. But yeah, then we went back and had our final day at the Steel City Comic Convention. I've got to be honest, we did a talk, which was on the Saturday, and that was really good energy there. It was really cool. Unfortunately, we were cut short a bit, weren't we?
Yeah, I don't know what. I think the guy had
the MC had a phone call to get to or something like that. So if you were in the room and wondered why it went short very quickly, it wasn't anything to do with us. We can talk for hours.
Let's quote this at the end.
Okay.
Let's carry on our talk about Pittsburgh. So we ended up seeing the Penguins play, which was great. We then had another day at the Steel City Comic Con, and again, I cannot thank anyone enough for coming and saying hello and making us feel so welcome in the city. After that, though, everything was done and dusted. We then headed to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the NFL team that play there, with a yellow terrible towel. Something that's always been on my bucket list to go and see ever since the first Super Bowl I saw on the TV was when, guess who, the Pittsburgh Steelers won the Super Bowl. So we headed there, and we were spoilt rotten by the NFL with these tickets because they were out of this world.
And we were there at Heinz Field, which is obviously because Heinz ketchup is from Pittsburgh.
I'm a big fan.
Big fan, James is. And it was amazing when we walked into the stadium itself, what an atmosphere was already going off in the concourse level. They had like a party going on. They had people singing everything from Journey to Bon Jovi.
Everyone... Who else? There's a lot of people that were playing there. They even had Toby Keith playing at one point, which was quite fun.
I have no idea who that is.
Country music.
Okay.
Red Solo Cup. That's who he did that song that you may know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so... and also, we were actually on the train there. We got the subway in, or the metro. Or
it's free on a match day.
It is?
Free on a match day. Very, very good. It's a shame people in England can't take on that same responsibility.
Yes, but anyway, as we were going there was a lady standing in front of me, and I had to take a photo. I hope she didn't mind if she even saw me, but she had these cowboy boots on, which were diamond crusted.
So you look like a bit of a creep.
No, but it baffled me. It really did. And I was like, this is commitment. So it had the Steelers logo with diamonds all over it, very, very into it. And like Oliver said, there was a big fan party beforehand going on. Everybody get into the spirit to go and sit outside in -centigrade to watch the football game.
Yeah, that was one thing that I couldn't get over is how cold and why they didn't build a stadium with a roof.
I know.
Dear.
Dog's off.
I know, but you didn't have to go there though. Yeah, I don't think the dog really likes cold weather too much either. But as we say, so while we were at the stadium, we were able to check out the local cuisine, as it were. Now, many people throughout the course of the weekend were telling us, "Oh, you've got to have this, you've got to have that in the city. This is really good. This is really good." And Primanti Brothers, is that it? Primanti Brothers?
Yeah.
They made this sandwich which they sold at the stadium, and it's basically a beef sandwich with coleslaw and French fries chucked into it.
It's one of those things which is,
you would say.
It's very naughty but very good.
Yeah.
It doesn't count either because you're at the football. So after that, we sat down full of energy.
Yes.
And carbohydrates. But it was great to see an amazing game of football. It was back and forth until literally in the fourth quarter, Roethlisberger ended up just winning it for the guys. He threw a great pass, and lo and behold, the Steelers won. We both got our terrible towels to bring home, which was a lot of fun. So we're waving that around. Then the next day we had our flight home, but we decided that we'd go for a little wonder of the city. So we're able to cross a couple of the 500 bridges that are in the city of bridges, Pittsburgh, which was very good to see. And we actually went up to a lookout point from Mount Washington to look over the whole of the city. So we'll now play an actual bit that we did from there.
Welcome to Pittsburgh. So James and I have been here for the past, what would you say, 4 days? Sorry, James is the cameraman right now.
Hello.
And I'd say we've been here since Thursday. We got in really late Thursday night at the airport over here, and we were over in Monroeville, over here. And on the way in, we actually drove through the city and we saw it all light up. And on the way here, we thought, what is those lights going up there? Where are they going to? And people told us over the weekend who we met at the Steel City Comic Con to come up here, up the incline to Washington Mountain, and it overlooks all of here. What a cool view. You got any facts and figures, James, about the city?
Did you know that it originally was where the Fort Pitt was?
No.
Round about there. And originally, the original name was supposed to be Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Like Edinburgh, Scarborough, that kind of thing. Peterborough. Unfortunately, someone misspelt the typo. They're calling it Pittsburgh. And the name stuck. By the time they could change it, that's how it was known. So, fact of the day.
Wow, well, I never knew.
And over there is Heinz Field.
Steelers sounds a bit more intimidating than Pittsburgh Steelers.
We wouldn't know if you never knew the name.
I suppose you wouldn't.
That's where the Steelers play. That's where we were last night in -5 centigrade, watching football, American football that is. But it was good fun.
It was very good fun. We even had the stereotypical sports fan sitting behind us, who every time was, "Yeah, let's go, Ben." Ben Roethlisberger, I'm talking about, the quarterback. Good game, wasn't it?
Very good.
Any other facts and figures about Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. It's also known as the Steel City, which is actually the home of the original US Steel, made by Mr. Carnegie, who pretty much built every railroad, steel for the railroad, which made America. And all the big skyscrapers of the last century pretty much came from them as well.
He was British, wasn't he?
Probably.
Carnegie,
Maybe. You're learning so much on this, right? Let's go explore.
Let's go explore some more. So as we said, we've had an amazing time here so far. We've got a bit more travelling to do this week. Where are we going to be in about 32 hours, James?
32 hours via London. We're then going on to Bangkok in Thailand. Simply because we don't like the time difference.
I don't think we'll need the gloves though in Thailand.
I don't think so. It's supposed to be 30 degrees centigrade warmer than here. But it's going to be all good travelling. Everyone's very friendly wherever we travel, and as long as we get to see where we are, that's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I would say is that I definitely want to come back here with a bit more time, maybe in slightly warmer conditions. But the people who we've met here have been so friendly and so just helpful in helping us have a great time in their city. So all the best, and we'll see you soon.
I'm going to get some Heinz ketchup. This is where it's from. Heinz ketchup is from here as well.
I have to describe what I was wearing at the time. I was wearing my NFL branded Steelers hat, what the guys gave me, and these cool little earmuff things. Yeah, yeah, I looked a sight, I must admit, looking back at that. But as you said, we learned some stuff. So Pittsburgh,
as it's also known in this house anyway. And we ended up going from there back to London. And we had about a 6-hour layover in London before we flew off to Bangkok. So on the way back, I was actually I divulged in a few ice cream sundaes, which was very nice.
And a spa treatment. You forgot to mention the spa treatment.
Not on the plane. I'm on about the plane.
Oh, on the plane. Oh, right. I think that.
Yeah. So anyway,
actually, I've got to say, big thank you to the guys at Delta and the ground crew at JFK, or one person in particular who got us on the plane.
Apart from the one lady who didn't want to let me on the plane.
Yeah,
she was quite a job's worth, but everyone else was very lovely. So that brings to an end of this part one of our double trip to around the continent, around the world, 3 continents in 10 days, which was a lot of fun. Guys, we hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas.
Yes, and I hope that one thing as well that you'll all take into the festive couple of days coming up is that you guys just relax, enjoy your time off, whatever you're going on with. If you're spending it with family, if you're spending it with friends, if you're going to a sporting event, if you're going to a music event, or even if you're just going to walk the dog down the road. Have an amazing time, and just know that we're always thinking about you guys and your support. We really, really appreciate it. But as James said, the main thing we want to get into this is a two-way thing. There's an interaction from both you and us. We don't want to just be preaching the whole time. We want to be talking about stuff, what ideas, what you guys have got coming on. And this is actually just reminding me of something which I need to get for my house, and I'll talk about it in the next audio cast. I heard a very, very cool story, but I won't ruin it just yet. I'll mention it all in detail at the next cast.
A suspense to leave us at.
It is.
Guys, have an amazing Christmas. Thank you very much for listening. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas.